That over there is the 2025 Volvo XC90 T8. And I've been driving this thing for a week. And today I want to show you everything you need to know about it. Let's roll. Now here's something interesting about the Volvo XC90. Bit of a history. This car was introduced first in 2002. It was equipped with a V8, a 4.4 liter Yamaha V8, which is insane to think for 2002. Instantly became a success. And it was the first generation until 2014. For 2015, Volvo introduced the second generation, which now came with the T8 version, which was a smaller engine, way smaller, 4-cylinder, and it also came with a plug-in hybrid. So essentially this is the second generation, but this one is a facelift. So from 2015 until now, this vehicle remained very much the same. So they kept selling it because why not? It was just as good as the first generation, of course, more fuel efficient and no V8, but it still was able to compete with a lot of new three-row SUVs. In some ways, this is technically the longest running luxury three-row SUV in the market. Well, this might be the last year that you'll be able to purchase a Volvo XC90 with an internal combustion engine. Because they cannot make a new generation XC90, they had to settle with a facelift. Essentially, they've changed some of the things on the outside to make it look different and a bit more aggressive. The first thing you notice is this grille, which now really makes the car stand out. And looking at it just on the road, like rollers for example, you notice this thing looks very expensive just by changing a bit of that grille. And then we've got the headlights, which are now different compared to the 2024 model. And then you have the front lip, but everything else remains very much the same, including the logo for Volvo. The side profile remains the same as well, although I kind of like this color. And one thing I noticed is that it's dirty, but you don't notice that because the color itself kind of hides it. You know, some colors like black or white, for example, you can tell right away that the vehicle, it is dusty or it's got some dirt in it. This one hides it really nicely. And then with this one, the T8, you get a plug-in hybrid option, which means you can charge it right here. But you can't charge it on a supercharger. It has to be just level 1 or level 2. Okay, we're gonna grab some coffee. Let's check for charging. See if we can charge. You know what pisses me off? It's these people. That's an Infiniti QX60. And this is the problem that I have right now with charging. Why the hell are you parking your stupid car here? Which is also nice looking, but why are you parking non-EV in here, taking the spot? Like, there's no shame anymore. Got on the front. And let's check this out. And do level 2. Let's see, okay, charge. It's at 1% right now. Oh, gotta add some funds. And now it's charging. So this is gonna take some time to charge. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna go and grab some coffee. Moving on to the rear side, well, 90% of the things in here remain the same, except the taillights, which are now a different design, similar to the 2024, but they have changed a bit the internal parts over here, the daylight running lights and the brake lights and the turning signal. So compared to the 2024 model, you're going to notice that difference. That's what a facelift usually is. Now, in terms of cargo space, the Volvo is not one of the best in its class. It offers about 12.6 cubic feet of space with the third row up. With the third row down, you're looking at about 35.7. Seatings, you get about 6 to 7. With the current package, we get about 7 seats. But the good news is that this vehicle is equipped with air rides, and what you can do is lower from here in case if you need access to this area, if it's too high. As you can see, the air suspension will lower the rear end, or you can raise it once you're done, or maybe you need access underneath. Jumping into the second row, well, this thing, it is quite spacious. In fact, I've got my son's car seat in the side. And another thing that Volvos are well known for is the center seat, which can turn into a booster seat, and that is quite impressive. I gotta remember how I do it. I did it a while. There we go. So you can press the button underneath here to raise it. That way now you get access to this area. You can put a child in there, which is nice and handy. But then the center armrest kind of becomes useless, but I'd rather make this useless than put another seat in here and take a lot more space. There we go. That locked. Also, there's the climate unit in the center. You have this little screen over here, as you can see, and you can change that. You can also lock this in case if you don't want the kids to play. Change the temperature, the fan speed, and we've got heated seats in the back for the passenger on the left and the right side. Now, in terms of space, it's pretty comfortable. There's enough space for me here sitting in the back. Pretty comfortable as well for the leg room. And we've got a sunshade on this side, which is manually. You can fold it and unfold it. And that's about it. Visibility overall, it's pretty good, and it feels like an SUV that I would enjoy for like 2 to 3 hours as a passenger in the back. I also like the fact that they've got these plastic behind, because my son gets these dirty all the time with his little silly feet, and what you do is just wipe it. So look at that. It's like he never did anything to that. Love that. And I'll show you everything you need to know about the interior and what's new. First of all, when you jump inside the Volvo XC90, there's a different feeling about this vehicle. There's a different design. There's a different sort of theme compared to other SUVs. It's very Swedish in many ways. The interior feels nice and sturdy and well built, like for example, the beautiful finish here for the speakers. It is equipped with Bowers and Wilkins. They have that across all the Volvo vehicles, including the Polestar vehicles, which offer very similar to that. But once you jump in, this is the type of vehicle that you don't experience with other cars, like this interior, the way it's designed, the layout, the build quality. Although in many ways it's still kind of like outdated, but yet very up to date. So let me explain what I mean. The steering wheel remains very much the same. You still have the standard buttons that you see like haptic, and you can change a lot of settings. The actual cluster remains very much the same as the outgoing model. Now, remember, this is a plug-in hybrid, so you get the little battery level in there, plus the fuel efficiency. And when it comes to fuel efficiency, this thing is super impressive. But what's new for this year? It's this screen. If you remember, the previous model had the screen sort of like integrated into the actual dashboard besides the vents. Now this one is more popped out, so it's something you'd see in the Polestar vehicles. In fact, this week I have the Polestar 3 and it's exactly the same screen as this. I believe the size is slightly different. But now we've got a full Android system that you can control like you would with a normal tablet, and this thing offers quite a lot of features like built-in Google Maps, that you can find the closest chargers in here. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you've got even YouTube here, Google Search, which essentially provides the user interface for this system, and built-in navigation system. There's no buttons for the climate unit in here. You have to go into this, and now you can control essentially the climate unit. All the settings that you need are right in here. You can also control the rear side, and you can do timers. So you can change, like for example, the climates, but you have to have the battery charged in order for this thing to work with this system. And we go back into that, back into the main menu. There's a lot of options that you can play around. Let me go into vehicle status, which shows you information about the vehicle, any issues. And then we go back into the settings, which this does offer quite a lot. Lane assist, and this in this case has headrest fold, so you can actually fold the rear seat. Well, one of them fell. not all of them. There's also this one, which is pretty cool. It's the air quality, and what it does, it controls and checks the sort of quality of air around your area. It makes me feel like I'm using an Android here. Although, yeah, here we go, location permission. And in this case, it will tell you what the quality air is outside, which comes in real handy. Like, for example, if you live in certain areas where air quality is not the best, well, that might come in handy. We've got driving modes with this vehicle, but don't get too excited. It's not like sport mode or any of that. We've got hybrid, which goes back from engine to power to the battery. We've got full power, which gives you access, and the vehicle just raised itself, so it's ready for drag race. We've got pure, which now it's off, and there's also an off-road option in case if you want to take this off-road. And we've got full all-wheel drive, which essentially gives you the best traction control. You can also change it to what level you want it to. There is also the steering feel, which you notice that with quite a lot. It's the soft and firm. I usually keep it soft because firm is a bit much. And then we've got air suspension system, which this one will control the ride, the height, wherever you park. These machines are so stupid. You can never get the receipt. It says print. It just printed. Are you kidding me? There's so much garbage in this car I have to throw because of my son. Okay, let's take a look. Premium, I put $47 Canadian, and I've been driving this thing for the entire week, and you know what? It is quite impressive fuel efficiency. So it was at 290 kilometers. Now it's up to 630 kilometers. You can get up to 800 kilometers on this thing. That's like diesel. And the reason is very simply because it does have a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged. I believe it's supercharged as well. Volvo is known to make engines like that are superb, and makes like 455 brake horsepower. You can essentially drive this on electric with the full charge battery, about 55 kilometers, 32 miles, which is still very impressive. I've been able to achieve about 8.9 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway, 8 liters in some cases, and city drive and highway about 11.5, which again, it is impressive. Mind you, this is a 3-row SUV, which is pretty heavy. It's got a mild hybrid, and what's even more important about this car is the fact that you can actually charge it, and it has a green plate, which means you can take the HEV alone. I love that. I've been driving this thing for a while. I've driven it before. This is one of my favorite SUVs, and I mean this in every way possible. Like, this car has amazing interior. You can charge this level 2 in about 5 hours fully charged, which is not the super fast one, but no plug-in hybrid comes with supercharger capability, as far as I know. The second car that I like after this one, plug-in hybrid 3-row SUV, would be the Mazda CX-90. That one is just as good, and it's a lot cheaper. Just don't get the same sort of quality interior. Impressive machine what they've done with this, and I believe this might be your last chance of getting one of these with an engine, because they already introduced an electric version of that. And mind you, this one has power to smoke those guys. It's got about 455. It's a lot of horsepower for a 4-cylinder. It is a hybrid. It's comfortable on the roads. It's superb. Even my wife loves this thing, which is even more concerning because she doesn't like big SUVs. It's got space inside. I've had my son's seat in the back. I've been driving it all week. Probably put about, looking at this, maybe 400 or 500 kilometers and even more from the rollers that we did, the filming, B-rolls and all that. I gotta give it to Volvo. This is one of the best 3-row SUVs, and the fact that they might kill this thing, it's even just kind of sad because it's such a great machine. And I see these things everywhere. In my neighborhood, there's probably about 15, 20 houses that I know of that have this same car. And they were looking at this because it's new on the outside. They thought it was a new generation. Now, the question is, like, do you upgrade from the one they currently have? Like, let's say you have a 2022 model to this. Not really, because it's not that different. I mean, this car has been like this for a while, and they've done facelift back and forth. It's the last one, and they're just gonna kill it off and make it electric. I think if you're looking for one in the market, you should go and get one now before maybe they sell them and you won't be able to catch one. On the highway, this thing is a superb machine. It's comfortable with the air suspension system. It's superb. It recharges so well. It has regeneration. Drive modes in this car are amazing too. You put into different drive mode. Right now we're gonna put power, so you put the whole power to the car. The vehicle is lowering now to get the optimum level of aerodynamic. You put your foot down and you wouldn't know that this is a 4-cylinder if you drove one. Unless someone told you, there was no way you would tell. I'm a big fan of this car. The seats are comfortable. The interior is quite nice. This little screen here in the center was needed. Everything else, it's pretty much like every other SUV out there. You got a digital screen and heads-up display, powered seats. The interior quality of this car feels solid. Like nothing rattles, nothing feels cheaply made. These are sustainable materials inside, great for the environment. Volvo is known to do that. Cruise control is just as good. Lane assist, gap assist, it keeps you within the lanes. Now you have an Android-based system, which is even more helpful. It's not cheap. It's an expensive vehicle because it's a luxury vehicle and you get so much out of it. But looking online, the rates in Canada for this were pretty good compared to everybody else. Not the best, but pretty good compared to everybody else. So very low rates, and potentially because it's going, they might want to get rid of them. You may be able to get an amazing rate for this car. Therefore, take a great machine. I really like this SUV, the XC90. It's been like really solid machine for Volvo, and they've sold these things left and right. I would definitely look into buying one. If you're looking for a 3-row SUV, just take them for a spin and see for yourself, because I love it. I really do.